Hello, you gorgeous, voluptuous, most perfectly plated serving of mashed potatoes and gravy that I have ever seen. How are you today? I am in a very good mood, and I just wanted to say to those of you celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, and to those of you that are not, have a happy day tomorrow. I'm in the mood and we are going to paint. So, cracks. Let's address cracks. And not my crack, this crack. Um, so, I'm getting a lot of questions. Why is this happening? These cracks in the painting. Well, here is my answer. This is my opinion as to why it cracks. So, the pillow paint that you're using for the bloom technique is very thick. Okay, a lot of us are pouring it right out of the can into the cup or onto the canvas. And what is happening is you're mixing up your colors with the base that you're using, and that may be a little thinner than the pillow paint. So what happens is the pillow paint takes longer to dry and this dries faster. So I want you to picture this. It's wet. This dries and it's solid, but now this is still drying and moving underneath. And what it does is it pulls it apart. Okay. So a way to avoid that is to thin down your pillow paint a little bit. Now this cup right here has 10 ounces of paint in it. Excuse me, has 10 ounces of paint in it. And I added 1 tablespoon of water to it just to thin it out a little tiny bit. And it's like at the perfect consistency now. And I know in the camera it's hard to know exactly what this consistency is. This is one reason why I will not teach through Skype, because you need me there in person to say, hey, this is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. You need to be able to touch it. So that's one reason why I get a lot of questions. Can you teach me through, FaceTime or whatever? And I don't feel like you're getting enough info that way. That's just me personally. Maybe people have other ways of doing it that works, but anyway. So now this is a perfect consistency. Okay. And I know I'm just trying to really show that trace on the surface that it leaves. So it leaves a trace, but it disappears right away too. So that is one way to help solve that. And then there's another thing that you can add to your colors that will help cut that down. And that is called GAC 800. I'll show you the bottle. They sell these at some craft stores like Michael's. Blick carries it, but sometimes it's hard to find. So Amazon, if you don't want to go out, is the way to go, especially if you have Prime. So see, low crazing, and that cracking that you're seeing in painting is called crazing. So it helps with that. So what you can do is literally, here are my colors I have ready to go. You can literally take this stuff and put a little tiny couple of drips in. That's all you need for that little amount of paint. Would help if I moved the stick, Tammy. Okay, so just a couple of drips and just mix it in, and that will help. Now, what I'm working with today are Porridge Posse paints. If you don't know what those are, they are Christina Welsh's line of acrylic paints. She sells these on Etsy, and she also sells them through her group. Now, what's the advantage of buying them through her group? The advantage is you get to buy these either in the tub or pre-mixed with pouring medium and silicone, or silicone, I should say, if you want. They are cheaper, and it's always fun to have a nice, pleasant group to hang out and share your artwork, get help. You know, if you're in these Facebook groups, there's a lot of help. And I just want to show you the body of them. They are shimmer paints. Although they don't show up on camera good, they do shimmer. This one's called Sleeping Beauty, and it's a medium body acrylic. Really pretty paints. So that's what I have in my cups today for colors. My base that I mixed those colors into were 2 simple ingredients. And I'm going to show you those, and then we're going to get right into it. I am using Vivid Enamel, Gloss Enamel. I have 3 parts of this and 1 part of this. So I added into a small cup, because when you make these colors, you do not need a lot. You're not using a lot of color to do this technique. In a small cup, I put 3 tablespoons of this and 1 tablespoon of this. Okay? If you need less than that, if you only need a couple of teaspoons of paint, do 2 teaspoons of the enamel and 1 teaspoon of the polyacrylic. So that's a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 ratio, whichever one you want to go with. So that's what I have in these cups, and I'm going to show you the colors really quick. This was that Sleeping Beauty that you just saw, and let me see if I could show you the consistency of these. It's very close to the pillow paint, and that's another key for success, having the white pillow paint and this paint the same consistency, or close to. This one here is Porridge Posse Purple. Guess if I hold it down here, it would be better. That's that one. Then we have Carolina Blue Shimmer. Really pretty blue. Copper Penny. And then the last one is the Moody Blue Shimmer. So if you're interested in these, go head over to Christina Welsh's art group, which is called the Porridge Posse. I will link all the information below. Okay? Speaking of products, you know, the holidays, tomorrow's Black Friday, so a lot of these companies may be having a sale for Black Friday, so go on and check it out. So now my cell activator is a mixture of American Floetrol and white Amsterdam paint. And there is the consistency of it. So you can kind of fold it over. There you go for that. And for that, I used 2 ounces of Floetrol and about a tablespoon and a half, or a tablespoon and a quarter of the white paint. So just put the 2 ounces of Floetrol in a cup and add paint until you get to this consistency. Okay? Like right when you start whipping cream and it starts to thicken up, that's the consistency that I can compare it to. And I'm going to use a turkey baster to blow the center of my blooms if need be. I'm going to try with my mouth, but these odd shaped canvases are hard to reach without putting your upper area, I'll say, in. Put it this way, I'm on the verge of inventing a new type of smash, and it's not with balloons. All right, so here we go. White paint on, and somebody asked me, why do you not torch at the end? And that is because this paint, this white paint that's underneath, has a lot of air bubbles. So if you put color on top and then torch, it's going to pop and you're going to see this white underneath. Actually, I said that backwards. So this white does have bubbles in it, yes. when you put the other colors on top, they have air bubbles in them. And if you torch them after you move it around, they will pop and you'll see the white underneath. That's what I meant to say. So you're not really supposed to torch at all because this is house paint and it's a lot thicker and you can burn it easily. But I do torch this first layer here really, really quick. And I mean really quick, not like a full torching, just to kind of help pop those bubbles, because every bubble that pops before that color gets on lessens the chance of that bubble popping during curing time and ruining your painting with a bunch of white specks. Unfortunately, when you work with paints this thick, that is a risk that you're taking. But that doesn't mean that your painting's ruined if that happens. You just have to deal with it. One way to deal with it is to use a marker to clean it up. A marker that is close in color to the other ones. Or you can do what I do, which I will show you at the end, which is use some wet paint to fill in the white spots. And then I just leave it alone. And let it dry naturally. And I really haven't had problems with too many bubbles popping. All right, so now that we have that, I'll go over it with the torch really quick. This is my new Lole Vefe torch, which is cute and clean for a little bit. Cute little thingy. I have a link to their store in the description of the video. She has silicone mats, squeeze bottles, coaster molds at a very reasonable price, all different things. You should go check it out. Okay, so we got that on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have you guys in full view, which I don't. You know what I need? I need a young kid to come over here and teach me technology, because I need to have my camera set up a different way. I need a lot of things. But I do have my editing program that I've been practicing on, and you'll be seeing a little bit better, a little bit shorter type videos once I get that nailed down, thanks to Ms. Ziki, one of my beautiful subscribers. She probably said, you know, enough of this. Get this girl an editing program. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an additional little puddle of white paint to support the colors. So here's what I'll do. I'll do 3 right up the center, and then we'll stretch it around and see what happens. So first I coat the canvas, then I do the 3 individual puddles for the colors so that that little puddle will glide along with the rest of it, and stretching will be a little bit easier, and it does help. In my head, it helps anyway. So that's where my 3 puddles are going to be. 3 puddles and a splash. Try not to do that right there, because believe it or not, when you're stretching, it's a pain, because now I could blow a beautiful bloom there and I'm going to have to dump half of it off the canvas to get rid of that. Or think of something else to do. All right, so now I think I'm going to go with purple. The Pourage, that was the Moody Blue. This is the Porridge Posse Purple. You can see how thick the paints are. They're pretty thick. But you don't want them too runny because then they tend to not hold the shape for the cells. Here's the copper penny. I love purple and copper and red together, believe it or not. I probably should have mixed up a little bit of Allen's red because I love that color, but I didn't. So this is what we're going with. All right, so then next we will do the Sleeping Beauty. And then the last one will be the Carolina Blue. Carolina Blue Shimmer. Okay, now we put our cell activator on top. Give it a good mix before you do it. Make sure it's all activated. Wonder Twin powers activate. Sorry, I just saw a hair. When you have 6 cats, it doesn't matter if you let them in the room or not. The hair is everywhere. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to use the turkey baster to demonstrate where you should be blowing. So right down in the center and kind of moving your mouth in a, or your whole head in a circular kind of shape while you're blowing. Yeah, see, I can't do it like that. So right down in the center. And then what you can do is you can take the turkey baster kind of push it out a little bit. Go back down again. Just don't be afraid. Worst case scenario, you can always come back and put more blooms on. And you want to try to connect the blooms together like that right there so that you don't have a big white area in between them. Now, a lot of my colors are staying underneath. So it must not be blowing hard enough. So I'm going to add a couple more on here. I'll do an alternate layer them alternate way than what I did the first time. And I should have added a little bit more white there, but I didn't because I forgot. So let me add a little bit more. So we'll do one here. I just like the added security of that little bit of pillow there, even though there's some underneath. Is it absolutely mandatory to do that? No, but I feel that it helps. No, that one's a little too close to the edge, so I'm gonna put it right here. All right, so I'm gonna layer these. I'm gonna pause you guys while I layer them because it's gonna take me a few minutes, and then we'll get right back to it. Okay, so I have my puddles back on. And you can see, like, I did the 3, and then I decided I wanted more. So you don't have to do them all at once. You could do a couple, see how it looks, add a few more. That's beautiful. Beauteous. There we go. Now we're getting some color out. So now like this right here, I could turn it and try to blow it and aim my breath right there, but that's where something like a straw or the baster comes in. Okay, even right here. And then we have the last one. I felt myself getting ready to spit in it, so I had to stop. All right, so now here's the thing. You have got to wait for this paint to rise back up. You've blown down into the center of it, and what it's done is it's gone down and pushed out. You have to wait for it to come back, because if you tilt prematurely, it's going to ruin the pattern of the cells. Take this time that you're waiting to see, waiting for this to come back up. Take this time to look around and see if you want to add more, or, you know, hit a few little white spots, or eat paint like I just did. Yucky. So you can tell by looking sideways, glancing over the canvas, if the paint is all back up, which mine is. So now I could start to stretch a little bit. Go nice and slow. Watch your patterns. Even this is kind of fast, but for the sake of video, when you see one go over the edge, that's when you want to start coming back and go in a different direction. So I'm going to bring it all back to the middle, and maybe go to the other side now towards me, which, let me turn this around so you can see. And I just got white paint right through the center of that. Oh, Tammy, Tammy, Tammy. Oh, that was truly an accident. That wasn't me being careless. That was just an accident. And they happen. So as soon as these two blooms right here start to go over the edge, or that part right there on that one, I'm going to try to now get this one to go over without losing too much of that one. So I'm kind of tilting on an angle. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to come back up. And you know, this is a big canvas. It's 11 by 14, so chances are I'm going to have to add a few more blooms here. But let's deal with these first. So now I'm going down this way. And as soon as this one starts going over the edge, I'm going to pull it back. Right now. I'm going to do the same thing at the opposite end. Okay, I'm going to come back up, and then I'm going to assess what I have on my canvas. So, looking at this, I want to get this area to open up, so I'm going to go that way. It's really too bad that I got that white streak through there. Let's get some of that off. I'm going to go this way a little bit. Come back. And you can see the cells are getting bigger as I stretch. And now my goal is to try to get this down here. So let's try that. It doesn't want to go. So let's go up the other way. It's kind of a unique painting. Let's go this way. Come on. There we go. And now I'm going to come back, bring it down to the center. I apologize for the horrible view right now, but it's necessary. And you know what? That white line that I made by accident is actually blending in pretty good right now. So I'm just letting it all go back down. And then I'll give you a close-up. So we got a few pretty areas there. Over here and here, here. That's pretty with all the copper cells coming through. And I just did it again. Oh, Lord, 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 Tammy. I just ruined the whole composition of it. Oh, well. What can you do? What can you do? So what I'll have to do here is try to stretch it a little bit more to see if I can get rid of that boo-boo I just did. This is why I don't like wearing gloves. I don't think I'll be, there's not enough paint on here now. What I will be able to do, however, is hopefully throw the gloves in it now. Oh, this canvas is doomed. So let's just see something. For example, can we take a little bit of the blue and kind of go through here like this? To cover it. That looks a little better there. The white, we could always get some white in there to fix that area. So that took care of that. I'll take a little more of the blue and put it through here. So that helped that area. And what we could do is this little tiny bit here is I can make just this come out a little thicker. Cover up that area. It's all good. I don't think anything's ever truly destroyed, right? Now it just looks like that belongs there. The only issue is right here because I have the white that came up through. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a redo canvas. I won't sell it anyway. So we'll leave it like that. I could put another bloom here and try to blow it out. But what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to just leave it. Just leave it and deal with it. But anyway, let me give you a close-up of the other areas that are still pretty. Before I do that, let's try a paintbrush. Let's just try to lightly brush that away. You know what? It actually is working somewhat. So I'm fine with that. Here's some blue. We could pull the blue. Hey, look at that. It's all fixed. That just looks like it's supposed to be there. Yeah, we fixed it. What do you think about that? And then over here where I dropped the glove in it, I can do another one of these little blue streaks. As for the white bubbles now, so if I were to torch this, I'd probably get a lot of speckling of white. So I leave it alone and that really doesn't happen. But now there are some white spots. Let's say, like this blends, but let's say you had one like here that you didn't like. You can take your paintbrush, dip it in your paint, and kind of just pat in with the paintbrush to get rid of it. Not that that worked even a little bit. I had hardly no paint on there. Okay, so that's what you could do. You could kind of blend it in a little bit. Just play around with it a little bit. You'll get it. Okay? So that's what you could do with the little white specks. Or, like I said, you could wait for it to dry. Here's a cool idea. Wait for it to dry. Take some stickles or glitter glue, which is the same thing, and put little dots of glitter glue in there. Let it cure. Do a nice coat of resin. You'll have a beautiful painting. So anyway, if you have any questions, leave them below. As I said, check out the description for the paints. They are great paints. And go check out her Facebook group. Check out my Facebook group, United We Pour with Tammy and Lisa. I have that group with my partner, Lisa Wyatt Art, who also has a channel. Go check her out. And my partner, my friend, my lovey face. Go check that out. And yeah, until next time, guys. Again, if you're celebrating, happy Thanksgiving. If you're not, have a great day. And I love you all. Happy pouring.